Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to For Goodness Grief. Good morning, Lee. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Regina. I'm mixed up. Honestly,
We're a
I
little
am,
subdued this morning, aren't we?
yeah.
Yes,
I had
yes,
some pretty amazing things happen yesterday. I was on fire, energized, excited for my business. A golden opportunity fell in my lap. I was rejoicing. And then I heard the news.
yeah,
And this morning, when you mentioned it, I just felt my eyes welling up.
yeah. And for
I
anybody who's not paying attention and doesn't know what we're talking about the news, there was another school shooting yesterday here in Texas in a little town called Uvalde, just outside of San Antonio. And so far, there are 19 students dead and two teachers and many more students in the hospital and probably teachers as well. I don't know. But yeah, devastating news.
devastating news. Um, okay, he can't join us, but
Okay, so we were inviting someone to join us this morning, and I'll just set the stage a little bit here.
yeah,
This is a friend of Lee's. They've known each other for over well about 20 years or more here,
yep,
and he made a post this morning that was just very touching about this incident and about, I should say, these incidences,
yeah,
because it's not just a one-time thing. And folks, we're not gonna go down the political road this morning about this. We'll let
right,
others debate that.
yep,
And that's how I heard about it this morning was a political debate on LinkedIn about it. I hadn't heard the news. My husband and I watch very little news. So we want to stay away from that part of it, but we do want to mourn with those who mourn,
yes, yes.
and we want to, uh,
We want to keep this a safe space for everyone,
yes,
right?
exactly.
And
Yes.
if we start a political debate,
Yeah,
it's
it's not a safe space
we
anymore. And
all
that's
know that it's
we each have our opinions. We know that, and we encourage you. And in fact, some of what Lee's going to read here in a moment is encouraging you to express your opinion. But in the proper places, in the proper channels.
yes,
And this is not that. This is about supporting those who are grieving. This is about helping people on their grief journey. It's about wrapping our arms around each other, and helping
mhm,
us along the way. It's about mourning with those who mourn.
yes. And I would encourage folks to do your best not to engage in the debate online. We need to be face to face. Even if you're on a Zoom call with others, great. That's kind of face to face, but
Face to
don't
face.
just
Yeah.
do the
And
typing because that's misunderstood. People
yeah,
read behind the
absolutely.
words
Always.
and interpret it,
Always.
and
Yes.
we don't
And be
need to get
civil.
ugly over this. We
Yeah,
need
be
to
civil
unite
in
as
your
a country.
debate. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And we each have an opinion, and those
yep,
should be expressed. And but we should
properly.
do it with respect and civility and honoring the other person as well.
Yes.
And emotions run high in these instances,
Yep.
and and we need to be in control of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will read this post. It's from Russ Goliger. He just graduated from seminary a couple of weeks ago, and he lives here in Massachusetts with me. Headed to a residency at a local hospital, not local, in Boston, a well known um, hospital for chaplaincy. So he's just a great soul, and I feel that he really expressed this very well. It was in response to some of the leaders in our country saying, "Our thoughts and prayers are with you." Okay, I won't cry.
And if you do, it's okay. How many times have I cried on this? A bunch.
True, true.
It's all right, you know? It's just showing that our hearts have, and our spirits have been touched.
Yes.
It's a liquid form of that
Right,
touching of our
right.
hearts and our spirits.
And
Yeah,
so, in honor of these beautiful children and
yeah,
adults who lost their lives yesterday and in all the school shootings prior,
yeah,
I share with you thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Don't get me wrong, I fervently believe in thoughts and prayers. Yet there are times, as Marx pointed out, that religion becomes the opiate of the masses. No, this must not be. God cries out for us to pick up our mat and walk. We often succumb to our sense of helplessness. What can I do? The problem is too overwhelming. The lobbyists too strong, the money too tempting, the rights too inalienable. Jewish wisdom exhorts, you are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. Jesus flipped the tables to crying, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are making it a den of robbers. I refuse to allow my thoughts and prayers to lead me to complacency. I refuse to believe that one person can't make a difference. But how? Refuse to be silent or silenced. Refuse to be worried about being polite. Speak your lament, speak your grief, speak your anger, speak your righteous indignation, and encourage others to do the same. And listen to them. Disagree, yes, but stay silent to keep the peace? No. The Prophet Muhammad declared, O you who have believed, be persistently standing firm in justice. Witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or parents and relatives, whether one is rich or poor, Allah is more worthy of both. So follow not your personal inclination, lest you not be just. And if you distort your testimony or refuse to give it, then indeed Allah is ever with what you do acquainted. You want to offer your thoughts and prayers? Great. Pray with the people next to you out loud. You want to offer your thoughts and prayers? Great. Pray for the tortured souls that commit violence and the society that cultivates, endorses, and thwarts attempts to do something. Out loud with your neighbors present. In this way, thoughts and prayers will lead to change. You may never see it. Do it anyway. It only takes a spark to set the spirit ablaze.
yeah. There's not much I could add to that. It's it's we do need as a nation to have the discussion. We need to have the conversation and find the solution to this. And I don't think, like I said, we don't want to go down the political road. I don't believe there's any one simple solution that's out there currently. It's a
Me neither.
complex problem and it's going to take some time to figure it out, but it takes
And
willing
each
hearts
one of
and
us.
minds. Yes, willing hearts and minds to have the discussion, to be open to ideas, recognizing that 1 plus 1 doesn't always have to equal 2. 1 plus 1 can equal 3 or 4 or 5. When we put our minds together on a project instead of divisively, we can come to a better solution that neither of us envisioned.
Analogy, it just came to me. Here
Say
in
that again, Lee. It
Massachusetts,
froze up a little bit. Can you say that again?
yeah, an analogy just came to me. There's a beach here in Massachusetts called Singing Beach.
Okay.
And I don't remember the
The
what
story
the
behind it.
sand is formed of, how it
Yeah.
works, but as you walk across the sand, it actually makes
Ah,
sounds.
okay.
Um, it's it's goosebumpy is what
Right?
I call it. You know, it takes millions, billions, gazillions of grains of sand to make a beautiful beach, to make
Right.
a singing beach.
Yeah.
So let's all gather together, each one of
Yeah.
us being
Let's
that
work
tiny
together
grain
at
of
it.
sand,
Yeah.
and create a singing beach for our country, for our world.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. Beautiful analogy. I like that.
Thanks.
And that's what it takes. It takes willing hearts and minds to come together, to respect one another, to be willing to learn from one another, and to be willing to come up with something that you didn't necessarily think of,
Yeah.
but that it's an outflow of those combined efforts. Yeah. The sum is greater than the, how does that go? The sum is greater than the parts of the, maybe that's it. Sum is greater than the parts. I don't know. But
I don't
anyway, when you
know.
add it all together, it's bigger. I'll have to look up that quote, folks, because I can't remember what it is. And thank you. We needed a little laugh here.
Oh, we did. We did.
We do mourn with those who mourn. We are sad for those parents who's lost their little ones.
Yeah.
Sad for those lives that won't be lived. For those teachers who gave their all. Ah,
And sad for parents and children across
yes,
the country
yes,
who go to school today wondering if they're next.
exactly. Yes, indeed. Yes, yeah.
Mm. Thank you, Regina.
Thank you, Lee, and thanks for sharing that. Tell your friend thank you for us.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
With that, folks, I think we're gonna let you go today. I think that's enough.
Yes. We're here for you folks too.
We are, and please, if you have something you'd like to express, put it in the comments. Again, we ask for no political statements, just support.
Yep.
Um,
Yes.
yes.
And we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you, Lee.
Bye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.